First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. And this carries into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25-yard line. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Ty Montgomery, the ball.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Jameis to throw it. And that's complete to Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 yards on the play, first down.
New Orleans.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing, Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A gain of 37. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Rolling to his right. That's caught. It's Sanders for the Saints touchdown.
Complete to Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll set up to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Not much there, only a yard.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Well, that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
3rd down.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Allen with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 on midfield strike.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He sheds himself free, rushing off defenders, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards there, and a Falcon first down.
At the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. It's Gurley. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
He was brought down by Keith.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
32-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Ryan. Following the interception, Winston going for it all. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
It leads to
2nd and 10. Here's Carson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
He was tackled.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. On play action, Winston. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
First quarter with the score Saints 7, Falcons nothing. Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 50.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, did you practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
The tackle made.
But sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan looking deep for Julio. That's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Well, big play there, Ryan to Jones. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Complete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. He got out of the pocket there. Was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling. His receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A 2nd and 11 from the 19.
11 at the 19-yard line.
Now Winston. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Complete to Emmanuel Sanders. It's a gain of a yard. And it's
the Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
How about that? A dime set on defense. defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now they'll toss to Gurley left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
The tackle.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
33-yard line.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. It turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish. Okay, you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and
9.
At the Falcons' 40-yard line.
This time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of
line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And it's 2nd down. Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And 20-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Just shy of the 45-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Takes this about 5 yards deep. That decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 27, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
And there's a catch by Todd Gurley, and that has to remind us that's exactly what we've seen in him throughout his career when he's at his best. He can run it. He can catch it. He led the league in total yards from scrimmage in 2017 with nearly 3,000. Todd Gurley, when he's on point, is quite a weapon for the Atlanta Falcons.
Directly over. And they get this right past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Gets it to Gordon. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
1-yard line.
first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10. Get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
First down, New Orleans.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From just shy of midfield, Winston eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. This is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Looking to go back to Thomas again, but it'll be second down. Atlanta, Georgia's the spot. I'm glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action, second and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Keenan O'Neal. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Really an excellent run. Sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2 at the 18-yard line.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. From the gun, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. They're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Ryan. Flush to his right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Thrown away and incomplete. It's second down and 10.
Here now is second and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Ryan. Dancing to his left. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On third down, Winston. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 81 yards. Didn't take long, one play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. Here's a quick throw right side. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
And 8 at the 22-yard line.
They run again with Carson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Third down.
The Saints on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is third and 9. Winston now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And how about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. And a very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan, he gets it to Gurley, complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
Ryan's pass. Complete.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a pickup.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
31-yard line.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
It's caught. Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. And this one through the uprights and good.
Makes the score Saints 20, Falcons 14. Sterling Hoff-Richter to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking long for Thomas. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At the 41-yard line.
2nd and 12. Throwing now is Ryan. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the...
Oh, crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2nd and 15. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Now Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Foyesade Aluakon made the tackle there from a safety position. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10. At their own 41-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that. But also, you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen?